Here's a quick recap of my first week of development on my indie game To Be a Hero, because last week when I told you I was starting over, I actually meant it. I went from having all of this beautiful, polished environment and character art back to Unreal Engine's blank map, which might make you wonder, Ricardo, you idiot, why would you do this? And I can't really blame you because I miss all the pretty art too. But before I add it all back in, my top focus is building out a bare bones mechanical prototype to test the core game loop of To Be a Hero. And this core game loop is to befriend wild monsters that you find called Virum, and then use their abilities to help you clear obstacles and solve puzzles along your journey. So to have the most basic version of this game working, I need to build out three main mechanics. First is all the movement and actions that you can take as the player. The second one is a system for interacting with and befriending the Virum in the game. And then the third one is puzzle mechanics that are linked to the Virum's abilities. And this week, I focused on the player movement. So I'm using Pokemon Legends Arceus as like my starting inspiration for how I want the player to be able to move around and act in the world. So I made a really rough version of this with just some movement, crouching, and a basic throwing mechanic to start. And I also added my reusable dialogue system to add some extra interaction to the game. Now, I definitely plan on adding a lot more types of actions that you can make in the full version of the game, but for now, this smaller list is more than good enough to test the concept. I do still have to fix some bugs on the aiming and the throwing animations, but my plan for next week is to work on camera lock-on targeting, and then I'll start adding some Virum into the game to work on the taming mechanics. So if you want to see the update next week where I actually start adding monsters back into the game, be sure to drop a follow.